To begin this occasion, we invite our volunteers of VIHE for the opening chanting.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Ganana Antva Ganapatigam Bhavamahe Kavim Kavinamupamashravasthavam Jyeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata Anashunvannodibhisida Sadhanam Mahaganadipataye Namaha Prano Devi Saraswati Vajebhirvajinivati Dhinama Vipravatu Ano Dino Bruhatak Parvatada Saraswati Yajatagantu Yajnam Vagdevyai Namaha Stapakaya cha dharmasya Sarvadharmasvarupine Avatara Varishtaya Ramakrishnaya Te Namaha Yadhagni Dahika Shakti Ramakrishne Sitahiya Sarva Vidya Swarupantam Sharadam Pranamamyaham Jananim Sharadam Devi Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Shritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu Namah Shri Yatirajaya Vivekananda Suraye Satchit Sukha Swarupaya Swami Netapaharine Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Jatasam Rishabho Vishwarupaha Chandobhyodhyamrutaat sambhabuva Samendro Medhaya Asprunotu Amrutasya Devadharano Bhuyasam Shariram Me Vicharshanam Jivha Me Madhumaktama Karna Abhyam Bhuri Vishruvam Brahmana Koshosi Medaya Pitaha Shrutam Me Gopaya Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tachayyoravrimahe Gatum Yajnaya Gatum Yajnapataye Daivi Swastirastu Naha Swastir Manushebhyaha Urvam Jigadu Beshajam Shanno Astu Dvipade Shanchatushpade Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Madhuvatartayate Madhuksharanti Sindhavaha Madhvirna Santoshadihi Madhunaktamutoshasi Madhumatparthivagam Rajaha Madhudyaurastu Nah Pita Madhumano Vanaspatir Madhumagam Astu Suryaha Madhvigavo Bhavantu Naha Om Shanti 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 हरिः ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ
Durga Suktam is a powerful Vedic hymn from the Taittiriya Aranyaka of the Mahanarayana Upanishad. It invokes goddess Durga in the form of Agni, the sacred fire, who destroys obstacles, sins, and worldly suffering. The hymn begins by calling upon Jata Vedas, the all-knowing fire, praying that all difficulties be burned away. Durga is praised as Agni Varna, radiant like fire and glowing with intense tapas, and devotees surrender completely to her protection.
Durga is praised as Vairochani and Katyayani, symbolizing radiant power and victorious energy, and is invoked to protect the seeker from both inner weakness and external negative forces. The Suktam emphasizes victory over Durgani, obstacles, sufferings, and limitations, guiding the devotee towards success, wisdom, prosperity, and ultimately liberation. Symbolically, it reflects the transformation of negative energies into purposeful divine power, affirming inner strength, courage, and spiritual awakening.
जातवेदसे सुनवामसो ममराति यतो निदहाति वेदः स नः पर्षदति दुर्गाणि विश्वा नावेव सिन्धुं दुरितात्यग्निः तामग्निवर्णां तपसा ज्वलन्तीं वैरोचनीं कर्मफलेषु जुष्टाम् दुर्गां देवीगं शरणमहं प्रपद्ये सुतरसितरसे नमः अग्ने त्वं पारयानव्यो अस्मान् स्वस्तिभिरति दुर्गाणि विश्वा पूष्य पृथ्वी बहुलान उर्वी भवातोकायतनयाय शय्योः विश्वानि नो दुर्गः जातवेदः सिन्धुन्ननावा दुरितातिपर्षि अग्ने अत्रिवन्मनसा गृह्णानो अस्माकं बोध्यविता तनूना ऋतनाजितगं सहमानमुग्रमग्निगं हुवेम परमान् सदस्तात् स नः पर्षदति दुर्गाणि विश्वा नामद्देवो अतिदुरितात्यग्निः रत्न्योषिकमीड्यो अध्वरेषु सना च होता नव्यः सत्सि स्वाञ्चाग्ने तनुवं पिप्रयस्वास्मभ्यं च सौभगमायजस्वा गोभिर्जुष्टमयुजो निषिक्तं तमेन्द्र विष्णोरनुसञ्चरेम नाथस्य पृष्ठमभि संवसानो वैष्णवीं लोक इह मादयन्ताम् ॐ कात्यायनाय विद्महे कन्याकुमारी धीमहि तन्नो दुर्गे प्रचोदयात् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ
Thank you for the soulful opening chanting and a beautiful explaining the meaning of Durga Suktam, helping us connect deeply with its divine essence and setting an essence and spiritual atmosphere. We now respectfully invite our revered Swami G along with the chief guest for Joti prajwalan, symbolizing the light of knowledge, purity, and selfless service. Swami Vivekananda believed that thoughts, when spoken with conviction, becomes transformative force. We now have a recitation by the volunteers of VIHE, reflecting the ideals and teachings of Swami Vivekananda.
Shraddha, a word that Swami Vivekananda assertively propounded to the youth of India as a mantra for progress, a virtue that he wished was inculcated in every citizen.
Swami G exhorts, what we want is this Shraddha.
Unfortunately, it has nearly vanished from India, and that is why we are in our present state. What makes the difference between man and man is the difference in this Shraddha. What makes one man great and the other low and weak is this. Shraddha is not mere belief. It is the inner conviction that what lies within us is much stronger than what stands before us. It is a fire that transforms.
It was this Shraddha that was awakened by Swami Vivekananda's in us youngsters, in individuals, and in the youth of our country.
Today, on the 133rd anniversary of Swami Vivekananda's historic visit to Hyderabad, let us all understand and imbibe Swami Vivekananda's spirit through his teachings in the form of a conversation.
Parivita, fear is the first chain that binds us youth today. Fear of opinion, fear of judgment, fear of standing alone. What does Swami Ji say about this?
Swami Ji says, be a hero. Always say, I have no fear. Tell this to everyone. Have no fear. Fear is death. Fear is sin. Fear is hell. Fear is unrighteousness. And fear is wrong life. Therefore, stand up and fight, not one step back. That is the idea. Fight it out, whatever comes. Let the stars move from the sphere. Let the whole world stand against us. Feel that you're great and you become great. Neha, these days we as youngsters tend to face lack of self-confidence. How does Swamiji guide us?
For building up self-confidence, Swami G says, you know but little of that which is within you, for behind you is an ocean of infinite power and blessedness. Whatever you think, that you will be. If you think yourselves weak, weak you will be. If you think yourself strong, strong you will be. Never say no, never say I cannot, for you are infinite. Even time and space are nothing in comparison to your nature. You are almighty. Parvata, this is our prime time where we need to construct our personalities and build our character. What does Swamiji suggest?
For character building, Swamiji says, each thought is a little blow of hammer on the lump of iron that our bodies are, manufacturing out of it what we wish ourselves to be. Character has to be established through 1,000 stumbles. Neither money pays, nor name, nor fame, nor learning, nor position. It is character that can cleave through adamantine walls of difficulties. Well then, Neha, today we all run behind success. So how do we become successful?
For success, Swamiji says, to succeed, you must have tremendous will, tremendous perseverance. I will drink the ocean, says the persevering soul. At my will, mountains will crumble up. Have that sort of will, that sort of energy. Work hard and you will reach the goal. Swamiji also says, take up one idea, make that idea your life. Think of it, dream of it, and live on that idea. Let the brain, muscle, nerve, and every part of the body be full of that idea, and just leave every other idea alone. That is the way to success. Parvata, even when we know what is the right path to be taken, we often refuse to do not walk in that direction. The main problem with today's youth is procrastination and inertia. What does Swamiji have to say on this?
For procrastination and inertia, Neha, Swamiji says, come out of your narrow holes and have a look abroad. See how the nations are on a march. Do you love your country? Then come, let us struggle for higher and better things. Look not back. No, not even if your nearest and dearest cry. Look not back, but forward. Come on to the practical field with tremendous energy to work in the fullness of strength. Today, since we have all gathered here specially for a Women Youth Convention, Neha, why don't we discuss about Swami Vivekananda's vision for the women of India?
Yes, definitely. Swamiji mentions in his Swadesh mantra, O India, forget not the ideals of womanhood are Sita, Savitri and Damayanti. At another occasion, Swamiji says, all nations have become great because they have paid proper respect to its woman. That nation and that country which does not pay respect towards its woman has never become great nor will ever be in future.
He also says our women have to be put in a position where they can solve their own problems in their own way. No one can or ought to do that for them. And our Indian women are as capable of doing it as any other women in the whole world. Neha, in conclusion, what do you think are Swami Vivekananda's expectations from the youth and citizens of India?
Swamiji had immense faith in us youngsters. He believed that we will raise our motherland again with our efforts and service. Swamiji says, my faith is in the younger generations, in the modern generations. Out of them will come my workers. They will work out the whole problem like lions. What we want are some young men who are ready to renounce everything and sacrifice their life for their country's sake.
Therefore, let us all work hard, my brethren. This is no time for sleep. On our work depends the coming of the India of the future. She is there ready, waiting. She is only sleeping. Arise and awake and see her seated here on her eternal throne, rejuvenated, more glorious than she ever was. This motherland of ours. Now we have a small repetition session. We will tell a quote and you will have to repeat it with full strength. I hope all of you are awake. Yes, I cannot hear you. Your voice in the quotation should be much stronger. Let's show Nari Shakti here, okay? Yes. Uttishtata. Jagrata.
Prapyavaran Nibodhata. Strength is life. Weakness is death. Arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached.
We will do Arise Awake again, but you will have to be more louder and more stronger. Okay? Arise,
Awake, and stop not till the goal is reached.
Namah Shri Yatirajaya Vivekananda Suraye Satchit Sukhaswarupaya Swamine Tapaharine Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Shakti Rupena Samstita Namastasyai 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 Namo Namaha. Offering my humble pranams, salutations to Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, Ma Sharda Devi and Swami Vivekananda, the presiding deities of the Ramakrishna Math and Mission. My namaskars to Dr. Usha Reddy ji, our guest speaker for today. And namaskar to the elders, principals and staff members from various colleges. And a very good morning, greetings to all my young friends. This is indeed a wonderful occasion for all of you. Thousands of students, especially the girls, the women from various colleges have come here on the first day of this VIVEKA SURYODAYA SAPTAHAM. Right? You are here for what? VIVEKA SURYODAYA SAPTAHAM. The sun rises, the darkness is dispelled. The moment there is a dawn on the eastern horizon, 6, 7 hours or 12 hours of darkness has gone within split second. But here it is not just that star called the sun giving us the blazing brightness, but it is the discrimination. It is the vivekam that removes ignorance in our daily life. That is embodied, that is presented by Swami Vivekananda. Vivekananda was not Vivekananda in name. It is only before going to America, his own disciple, a big Maharaja, a king of Khetri in Rajasthan, suggested to Swami G, in the whole country, I have not seen anybody have so much discriminatory power from good and bad, from negative to the positive. Swamiji easily could split everything and find out the right path. That is why he was called Viveka Anandam by his own disciple. So all of you who are students should cultivate this quality in life from today. The first day of the Saptaha, 7 days festival that we are organizing. Just now you saw the video, the purpose and the occasion. Vivekananda, before going to America, came to Hyderabad. And just now, in Madras, in Chennai, 9 days festival is going on. That is after his visit to America. Returned to Chennai, stayed there for 9 days. They are celebrating as Navaratri up to 15th of February. 10th to 17th before going to America in Hyderabad. 6th to 15th February after returning from America. So that is where the details you will get in his detailed life. The incidents you will get. The knowledge you will get. The inspiration you will get. And what all of us can do in the future with the facilities today. My dear sisters, please remember, at that time we were all called what? The slaves of the British Empire. Is it not? British Raj. And still more painful is colony of Queen Victoria. This huge country, they made it one colony. 45-year-old lady, Queen Victoria, sitting in London, is controlling 300 million people. Look at that strength that they had, the unity that they had to keep us suppressed and oppressed for 200 years. At that time, this Vivekananda rose amongst the population. Nobody could stop him. On 10th February, that is today, 133 years ago, 500 people came to railway station. They don't know who he is. They have just heard the name. As you are seeing the video, our elderly sir was telling me, Swamiji is like a huge magnet, attracting all the iron filings of the people. Otherwise, how could 500 people go? How could all the Muslims get inspired? Including Khurshid Jha, including the Nizam, the Nawab of that time. So all of you have gathered here for the first day of the celebration. It's a very important occasion for the entire country, entire planet, and entire youth power. All right? So we have two distinguished speakers today to interact with you, to guide you what your school, college, parents, teacher, system cannot afford or is not able to do it. Because there's so much of pressure for all of you, so much of expectation from the parents and from the society that you should reach a very high career state, but then not at the cost of our culture and character. You agree with me? Today's situation is not very bright. But at the same time, there is brightness, there is sunlight. We have to utilize the opportunity. Where is that sunlight? Where is that brightness? In your own mind, in your own heart, in your own life. There's an interesting story with Sri Ramakrishna, the Guru of Swami Vivekananda. See, my dear young friends, young sisters from various colleges, Vivekananda was like one of us, one of you. Okay? BA first year. At the age of 18, he started questioning something else. About God, about philosophy, about so many wonderful things. Then that question took him to his master Sri Ramakrishna. And Sri Ramakrishna, whom you see in the center of that photographs, which you have kept in the altar, did not go to school at all. Maximum second standard dropout. The moment school bell was ringing in his village in Kamarpukur, 60 miles from Kolkata, Sri Ramakrishna used to run away from school. And he hated mathematics very much. He called it Komati Vidya, calculative business, which he did not like at all. But today, believe me or not, one who did not go to school or get a degree like you and me, in his name, we have got 500 schools and colleges in the whole country called Ramakrishna Mission Schools. Isn't it interesting? Isn't it very thoughtful? We have got a university, Ramakrishna Mission University, but Ramakrishna did not go to school. We make fun amongst our discussion monks. If Sri Ramakrishna wants to become a member of the Ramakrishna Mission, he will be disqualified because he does not have a degree. We make fun. Because all our daily life is weighed by degrees and marks and your promotion and your salary. But Sri Ramakrishna became Paramahamsa, a great swan who became a rebel, as it were, for all our normal life. He tells beautiful stories. Where to find the light? Not in Orbit Mall or Lulu Mall. Not in Indira Park or cinema theatre. Turn the capacity, your potentiality towards yourself. For that, there is an interesting story, a humorous story of a villager. A villager got up in the middle of the night, about say 12 o'clock, and he had an addiction. He had a kind of habit of smoking a cigarette in the middle of the night, whenever he gets up. Unfortunately, that day, he found the matchsticks were empty. Matchbox was empty. Right? And then what to do? Desperation. He wanted to borrow a matchbox from the neighbor's house at 12:30 in the night. How to go to the neighbor's house? No street light, no electricity. But in the villages, if you remember or see some old photographs, there will be a lantern outside the house, kerosene lantern. Okay? And flame will be very little. Anybody wanting to go for nature calls or for outside, they will increase that flame of that lamp, use that and keep it back for others. Right? So what did this old villager do? He took that lantern in his hand, kerosene lantern, and he increased the flame. So it became more brighter. Velturu inka ekkuvaindi. With the help of that lantern, he went to the neighbor's house. Why he went to the neighbor's house? To borrow a matchbox. What is in his hand? Lantern. And he knocked the door of the neighbor at 1 o'clock. A neighbor asked, తమ్ముడు ఎందుకు నన్ను లేపుతున్నావు మధ్యరాత్రిలో అంటే ఒక అగ్గిపెట్టి ఇవ్వయ్యా, నేను పొగ తాగాలి, సిగరెట్ కాల్చుకోవాలి. Do you think the neighbor gave him a matchbox? Neighbor gave him 2 slaps. Champal vainchadu, idiot, fool. Holding a lantern, you have come to my house. Can't you use that light of that lamp? Oh, sorry sir, thank you sir. ఇది మన ప్రజెంట్ విద్యాభ్యాసం మీ కాలేజీల్లో దొరికేది. You have got that knowledge to become the king of the world, queen of the world, but you are getting only 100 marks. Only one job. Use your talent, use your capacity, use your willpower. Trailokyam etadakilam tava padamule. The 3 worlds will come and sit at your feet. Don't become begging bowls. That is why Dr. Abdul Kalam used to tell, we want youth not job seekers but job givers. You should be able to give 5 jobs or 10 jobs to 10 women, as much as some wonderful NGOs are there in the state and in the country, who are not gone for jobs but who are giving jobs, who are uplifting the economy of the country and the character and the happiness of the people. So that is the purpose of the celebration, to awaken that conscience in you, to awaken that inspiration, that spark of divinity it is called, spark of divinity. So Swami Vivekananda had tremendous faith in the youth of this country, whether boys or girls, whether they are north or south, east or west, whether they belong to this kulam or that kulam, doesn't matter as long as they have their potentiality and capacity neat and clean. So try to have a joyful learning. Different celebrations are there. Today we have for all of you from various colleges. Tomorrow, the 11th of February, we have a focused program for Vivekananda College students of Sainikpuri. They will be coming here, 350-400 students. Already the list has come. They will participate in their own interaction. And then 13th is a very important day. All of us will go to Mahbub College. Vivekananda's first speech in his public life, in his entire life. Later, when he got the confidence, when he got that openness, he was ready to go to America, and that became history. September 11th, 1893. And then we have Shivaratri. We have another 2-day celebration on 16th and 17th. So all of you who are inspired today and get such blessings of Swami Vivekananda can utilize the opportunity to grow into big leaders of this country. You want to become leaders or ladders? What is the difference? Leader and a ladder? Leader is one who takes everybody forward. Ladder is one, or they are used by somebody. Ladder is kept, then somebody will climb and go up. So don't become stationary ladders. We should become potential leaders, dynamic leaders. Leadership, we call it leadership program. What is that ship? Anybody's guess? Leadership. What is that ship? That ship is Mother India. Ship is Mother India, and you are captains and leaders in that ship. Understand this. And that ship needs captain. It cannot go by itself, it needs direction. And that captain, that overall personality was Swami Vivekananda. I keep asking students in all colleges and universities, Who is your Margadarshak today? Amidst this turmoil, this change, this chaos that is going on in the country. Who is your shock absorber? Who is your lighthouse in life? What's the use of a lighthouse in the ports? To guide the ship. Shock absorber, bad roads, bad situation. You need somebody to take it, right? That Vivekananda can do, is been doing. That is why all of you are here. So make him the shock absorber of your life. Make him the Margadarshak. And then you see the difference in your personality, in your daily life and in the national life. All right? I'll tell you one bright story and one sad story which happened on the same day and invite the next part of the program. My dear friends, how many of you have seen or heard after 41 years, India had successfully sent, India means the space group, has successfully sent Sudhanshu Shukla ji of Lucknow to ISS. What is ISS? International Space Station. After 41 years, spending 600 crores for his training. I saw that live transmission from Lucknow and from Doordarshan. His mother in Lucknow is watching on this big LED screen her son taking off and then landing in ISS and then talking to the Prime Minister, greeting his mother and his family. Tears of joy. Tears of joy in his mother's eyes. She doesn't know whether the son will come back or not. The son is there. He is visible. He has gone for 18 days experiment. While returning, it's more dangerous than taking off. It may happen like Kalpana Chawla. It may happen like Sunita Williams, who had to stay there for 8 months. But the mother sacrificed her son for national cause. Later he came, that is a different story. But my dear young sisters, listen to me carefully. On that same day, when there's tears of joy in the mother's eyes of Sudhanshu Shukla in Lucknow, in GD Matla area of Hyderabad, a 10th standard girl planned systematically like a professional to murder her own mother. This is Hyderabad today. Systematically. Why? Infatuation triggered off through Instagram. Mother protested, mother objected, but her negative mind said, my mother has to make way for my passion, for my lust and for my greed. And that ending was so bad when that girl, 10th standard girl, found that the mother is not dead completely in spite of that rope being pulled on her neck. She called back that fellow and with his help took a hammer and hit the mother's head. Look at the way our society is moving forward. These are the things which have to be taken as a challenge. Will you want to become part of the problem, or will you want to find solution to the problem? Choice is very clear. Tell me at 1:30 when we disperse. Then other programs will take off for the next full 1 year. All right? So Vivekananda's blessings is there of all of us on Hyderabad, Bhagyanagar. He had come here today. He stayed here for 7 days and shared his knowledge with everybody. That is why we are all celebrating. More information, more knowledge, more joy you will get in course of the next 2 hours. Okay? So wish you all the best. Thank you. Have a joyful learning.
Thank you, Swami G, for your inspiring welcome address. Your words of wisdom, guidance, blessings have set a profound and uplift start for today's gathering. We are honored to have with us Dr. Usha Reddy ma'am. It is a privilege to introduce our guest, the director of GVK Schools, an alumni of Rishi Valley School and Jiddu Krishnamurti Foundation and the renowned educationalist for the Hyderabad, with an impeccable track record in the field of education. Dr. Usha Reddy ma'am believes that value of Indian culture and traditions must be instilled in children along with global perspective. She was the chairperson of Hyderabad Sahodaya School Complex, which consists of 300 plus CBSE schools, and she was the city coordinator of CBSE. She has received Eminent Educationalist Award from 3 governors and also received the National Award 2010 from the Honorable President of India, Srimati Pratibha Patil, on 5th September 2011. She has also received 3 Life Achievement Awards and over 40 Best Principal Awards. Dr. Usha Reddy ma'am is well known in the city as an exponent of CBSE initiatives and is a CBSE master trainer for various programs. Her latest achievement has been confined the honorary professorship title from Oxford Union, Oxford. Let us now welcome Dr. Usha Reddy ma'am.
Let me begin this morning with salutations to Sri Ramakrishna, Ma Sharada, and Swami Vivekananda ji. Good morning to all of you seated here. In fact, it's such a pleasure to see all the bright faces. The hall is packed with 1,000 plus young ladies in front of us. And what more can we ask for? Because this is the powerhouse for the future of our country. When we believe that every woman is capable of doing anything that she desires, only then will our society move forward. Swami Bodhamayananda ji, in his little talk this morning, that was power-packed, as much as the movie that we saw of Swami Vivekananda ji, I think has been extremely inspirational. I will begin from where I was introduced to the philosophy of Swami Vivekananda. In the 1950s, there were very few people who had the opportunity to go abroad and study. My father was one such lucky gentleman because my grandfather was a graduate in English literature and he aspired that the only best thing that he can do for his children is to give them quality education. So when he went there to the United States, my father told me that initially he was taken aback by the development that he saw in the Western world. But not very long after that did he also realize the greatness of our own country, India. He went to the libraries there and he found books on Sri Ramakrishna. He found books in his college library about Swami Vivekananda and he started reading them while he was doing his MBA. He says, when I went to America, it was to come back with an MBA. But what I got there was from my own country, reading the literature and the lives of such stalwarts. And I came back more Indian than when I left my own great country, India. It just shows that when you are the youth of the country, there would always be an opportunity. And once you seize that opportunity for the betterment of your life and make it the purpose of your life, I think you have an extremely bright future. As rightly said by Swami G, that 12 hours of darkness can get eliminated by the first rays of sunlight. I've always felt that just with that one igniting thought, which is as bright as daylight, can transform you for the rest of your life. It's just that we ought to be open to such opportunities, and we got to seize them. When we talk of today's youth, there are a lot of plus points, but I also find there are a lot of guidance required so that they don't steer from the righteous path and move on to other things which may be attractive temporarily, but may become disasters for their future and their entire life. Swami Vivekananda very staunchly believed that if our nation has to strive for independence, if our nation has to become better than any nation in the world, it is inadequate if just the men speak of freedom. It is not enough. He believed that every woman should not be confined just to the kitchen, because they are capable of so much more. And they should walk alongside these men and fight for the independence of our country. Such strong words of a spiritual, social reformer, 125 years or more ago, I think still stand testimony to what ought to be done today. I think he laid the foundation of everything that women are actually achieving in today's world. His golden words, his insight, his belief in women is what has stood apart. Even today, when we read what he has said, we understand that this was the foundation that all of us are cherishing, and we ought to make better use of that. May I please be permitted to recount my recent visit to the Andamans. You know, when there were many people fighting for independence, there were many who were just watching what was happening. I cannot say that all men took part, so bravely to get our country the freedom. There were many who weren't doing it, but there were many who did. There were also many women who slowly became a part of this freedom movement. So when I went to Andamans, I saw the cellular jail, which today they have a museum, and then they invite all visitors to come there. Why were they taken there? Because they can be tortured, and there will be no escape from them, because it is an island. And the rooms were so small and dingy. The doors were so narrow, and multiple people were packed into those tiny rooms, not even let out for nature's calls. As I walked down the corridors, my mind was a little disturbed, because I'd already seen the museum, I'd seen the photographs, I'd seen the list of martyrs, and it made me realize this is the cost of our freedom, and we have to value it. Even if we weren't born at the time of that struggle, we have to value it. And we have a bigger responsibility as citizens of our country. Don't you think so? And I walked down those corridors and then went for the sound and light show. It was something that gave me goosebumps. It brought tears to my eyes, because every prisoner was treated worse than an animal. They had to shell, enough coconuts, break with their bare hands, crack them open, and if you've seen how bullocks are used to extract juice or oil, they go round and round and round, and finally everything is crushed, whatever you put in the center. And then you get the oil, or you get a juice, whatever it may be. Now these people had to put the coconuts, and with their bare hands hold this big stick which was there from the center of the drum, and then keep rotating until each one of them extracted not less than 30 pounds of coconut oil. It is so inhuman. And if you don't do it, they were whipped and beaten and kicked, and then they were given no food to. The tales that they showed us in that Sound and Light show was also that they didn't even get food properly. And these are our freedom fighters, and we must not forget them. And they got food with maggots, with insects in that. And imagine in such a hot place, getting only 2 glasses of water sometimes. So you would almost be dying of thirst. And you have to work. And you're not getting adequate food. And you were beaten and kicked brutally for being a patriotic son of this country. Only twice water was given, and most of the time they had to close their noses and then gulp the water, because it would stink like it's picked up from the gutter. And where were they? They were living in an island. There's nowhere to run away. And they were so strong that even there they rebelled and they refused to eat, and they were beaten, but yet they stuck on to their hunger strike until I think Gandhiji himself decided to send a note to them that we will get our freedom, but please break your fast. Well, we're talking of women and women empowerment, but why am I talking about what the men did? Because there are so many great women that Swami G has actually praised in his lifetime. In fact, he wanted to start a Stree Mat, where he said, our culture and spirituality are equal, and so even the women are entitled to it. In days where women were not educated, were kept within the folds of the house, mostly in the kitchen. And why weren't they educated? Because then you just keep doing what you're doing, and unless you are exposed to brighter ideas, how would your future be? But Swamiji said that the freedom of the nation cannot be got on one wing. I'm very clear that we need 2 wings. If men are one wing of the freedom struggle, women are the other wing. And then thousands of people moved into this great movement until we got our freedom much later. For a man to be such a great social reformer, I think I bow and I salute. Whatever freedom I have in this country today as a woman, I owe it to all these stalwarts who've lived before us. We read and we recount their stories to gain strength even in today's world, because they are so relevant. And let me tell you, I saw the cells, that is the prisons, which were there in Andamans. I've gone to the Jallianwala Bagh in Amritsar, where they were having a meeting, and the British got to know that there were women and men congregating there for and they were conspiring, according to them, to get freedom for our country. And what did they do? They shut the only door that was there. They went in. The walls were so high, and there was no escape for anybody. And they shot every man, every woman, and every child that was there and put them into that well, because people had nowhere to run. When you go there, you will see that the walls are streaked with that blood from the gunshots. And you will see how many people sacrificed their lives. And what are we doing today? What hurts me is that the youth of today seem to be prisoners for a cell. Something in your palm. And we have that gadget, and we have become prisoners to technology. Our day begins, we open our eyes and we do no Surya Namaskara, but we look into the cell. We check our messages, and that guides and leads the day. And if there's some news there, and your mind gets diverted into all of that, and then the cortisol level goes up, and there is enough stress in the body already. And what time do we wake up? Do all the girls, if you cross your hearts, how many of you get up before sunrise? How many of you actually experience the beauty I'm so glad to see 2 hands go up. This is our country. Slowly I can see few more hands. But if we become lazy, and if we do not cherish the beauty of the sunrise, derive that pure energy to set the tempo for the entire day, and we wake up midday, what type of a life are we leading? We are slaves to that little cell technology, and we believe in a fake world, which for us is real. It's the online world. And that is what the direction, if you take, can lead to disaster. I'm sure that all of you are listening to the news. Recently, 3 girls committed suicide because they stopped going to school for 3 years. They got hooked on to gamification of some Korean games. They were also dating on that app. And they believed that that is the real world. They lived with the cell phone, literally, not going out anywhere, not interacting with anybody. And finally, what did they do? They committed suicide. When you do not have a purpose in your life, and you are a slave to the cell phone, and that dictates what your future should be, because they were being guided as to what to do, what not to do, like the blue whale game that went on, and people all over the world were committing suicide, many children. When you become a slave to that cell phone, then just imagine what the future of our country would be. So please, let us, awaken to that situation that we are in, and also awaken to what we ought to do. Create that purpose in your life. And like Swami G said, when you focus on that one thought that you have decided should be the driving force of your life, your entire life will have a meaning and you will live a joyous life. There is a lot more happiness in giving than in accumulating. The knowledge that India has, and today when our dear Prime Minister Modi ji talks of Nari Shakti, and it's becoming something that people are waking up to, I think the way we look at women is different. Like Swami G himself, Swami Vivekananda ji has said that in the West they look at them as good wives. In India, we look at women as motherhood. We respect our motherland, we respect our women, and our society will move only if the women have given the freedom, the education, and let them decide their future. They have the ability, the inherent ability to take decisions. They can take care of the family. They have the drive to even work for the family, but they also have a larger purpose of looking at the community. Standing tall so that others can emulate you by not deviating and doing things which are unrighteous, I think is something that every young lady sitting here should debate in her mind and make a choice. After all, your life is nothing but a series of choices that you make. Whether you make the right choices or the wrong choices, your life will go in that direction. You are all intelligent people. You are getting educated. But education, we all understand, is not just getting the degree, certificate, and the job. If we define success as making more money, having more property, without impacting anybody around you, the society around you, sharing your knowledge, sharing what you have with everybody, then I think it's a very self-centered way. And I don't think this is what our culture stands for. If you walk to our villages, they need not know who you are, but they will definitely offer you a meal. And they will say, Atiti Devo Bhava. My personal experience of this, thanks to Swamiji, he's been my guiding force. I used to come and just listen to him, and he was kind enough to have some conversations with me. And one day, when we wanted to serve in the villages, it was through him that I got connected to the Vande Mataram Foundation. And for over 2.5 decades, with the students, because I was heading an organization, I decided to expose the children to what is happening in our villages. Apart from talking to them and understanding their issues. Today, you don't have those issues sitting here. You are the privileged lot in the city. Whereas for them, the moment a girl matures, they are asked to sit in the house, cook. If there's a younger sibling, they will have to take care. And a little later, go to the fields and, kind of toil in the hot sun. Whereas the sons are given the preference to get the education. My students and I had to talk with the sarpanches, talk to the parents there, and tell them that please don't stop from sending your girls once they mature. It is just part of our anatomy. Accept it like that. Give them all the knowledge that they can defend themselves, protect themselves, and be careful, but let them out into the world. By shielding the girls, you are actually stopping this country from growing as well. And after many decades, we were so happy that the girls were continuing in school, and even after 10th, where most girls would drop out, they kind of were brave enough to go on and do their intermediate and then join colleges as well. But there were times when girls who were getting married within a week of having matured, calling us and saying, Akka mir tondarga randi, please come to the village and rescue me. My parents are getting me engaged and I'll be married in 3 days and I do not want to get married. When I was young, I thought that the moment I go, I could just change the situation. I could talk to the parents, I could talk to everybody in the village because I was going there for so many, years. I thought they would listen to me. But I was young and foolish. I went there and when I spoke to the parents, they said, you know what would happen if you stop this marriage now? My child will never get married. That is the society we live in. And then they would also kind of outcast us. And then, we will have to face so many hardships. So I beg you that if you stop this marriage, then there will only be suicides in the house. I remained silent and walked away. But that resolve to go back, last minute you can never do anything, but you can always motivate people from before so that the parents take a wise choice and the girls stand up for their rights. And believe me, these little things that you do in life are what count. I'm sure that before I leave the world, there would be only few things. It's not the awards and accolades, that one receives. But I think what would stay with you is, did I make a difference in someone's life? Was I able to inspire somebody to rectify their lives? It's okay if somebody has trodden on the wrong path. Can I bring them back to the right path? That belief in our youth that, mistakes are made, we're here to forgive, but we're also there to pull you strongly to do the things which are right. And I think that becomes the purpose of our lives. Many of the youngsters, seated here, probably have not even thought of their goal. What do you want to be or become in future? They will say, I want to become an engineer, I want to do my master's, I want to get this job. But that is only one aspect of your lives. And you think that is everything. So the way we define happiness, the way we define success is very integral to the way we lead our future. It should never be all about us and us alone, but about the community that we live in. How am I going to do right things? Not after I finish my MBA or after I get a job or after I've made too much of money. The foundation has to be laid now. I'm not mincing my words. It is a parallel stream. While we work on the external, like, acquiring your degrees, you have to work parallelly and go deeper within yourselves on that inward journey. For it is not the outside people who can motivate you, but it is only you. Like the example that Swami G gave of the lantern and the matchstick, it was so beautifully illustrated. You have the strength within you. So why don't we ignite ourselves? We cannot depend on some external factor. To do that, meet the right people, read the right books, and get inspired. Start off small, and with your little baby steps, let the others take note of you, that you are doing something different. And you will see that you will be far more successful than most people. Because you will have a consciousness that says, I have made a difference. There are also few things that, we mustn't forget. Like when we look at what he said so many centuries ago to is it relevant in today's world? Swami Vivekananda did not imagine women working, waiting for empowerment. He said, they should not be just waiting for empowerment. He imagined women to be working into it with confidence, competence, and courage. Nobody is going to do anything for us unless we seize that opportunity by ourselves, unless we have those strong decisions and stick by them. Once you have that strict resolve, the resilience, there is no way that the path ahead of you will be glorious. Education, when you talk of excellence in education, women achievers, who have been there in various knowledge fields. I think if you look at Kalpana Chawla or Sunita Williams, what do you think that they had? How did they dare to do what most people will back off and not want to undertake? I think it is mental strength, it is emotional resilience and discipline. And also, when there are hurdles in life, to have the guts to stick on and never give up. Because if you give up at a small hurdle, the road closes on you. But if you resolve to cross that hurdle somehow, I think that's when that you will have that journey that you wanted to undertake, that you will see the end of the road. And it's very, very important that we all understand that this is something that we can do and we must do. Let me talk of another lady. She looks like a very homely homemaker. Her name is Dr. Tessie Thomas, known as the Missile Woman of India. Right? Who's the Missile Man of India? You all know. But what about the women? This lady is known as the Missile Woman of India. And what did she do? She had silent strength. She continued to work amongst men and showcased her excellence, and she chose competence over noise. She did not talk about what she was doing, but she proved that she was one of the most competent people in the room. We need not argue with men about gender bias and fight for equality. I think long gone are those days. I think what restricts us is our inertia. What restricts women from rising is listening to what others want you to do. What restricts women is our own mindset, and that is the most important thing. If you think you are equal, you are equal. If you think you are incompetent and cannot withstand the competition, so be it. Believe me that the world and the universe will conspire to make your thoughts an actuality. Imagine Swami Vivekananda Ji when he went to Chicago. First time crossing the seas and moving to a new country. And yet he had everybody spellbound in the Parliament of World Religions. And everybody, had respect for him because his thoughts were pure, his intent was clear. So everything he spoke came from the depths of truth and knowledge. And this type of a speech will be etched in everybody's minds for time immemorial. And why do I say that? Because he is a truly enlightened soul. He aspired. Things were not easy. It took time. But he was absolutely resolved to say what he wanted to say and let the world realize the richness of our country. The role that you have, I will tell you, is very, very important. If you see what is happening in geopolitics, geoeconomics that is happening, you must wake up that India is no more that subservient country. India will not bend backwards to please the West. We will stay silent, as reflected by our dear Prime Minister. He is communicating in the right manner with due respect to most leaders, and people are taking note of our country. But when they actually come here, what is it that we can showcase? The numbers of such stalwarts is dwindling. One era is getting wiped out. So are we going to sit still, or do we have a responsibility of igniting the youth so that they take it into their hands, believe in our country and respect our culture, and make sure that we will embrace the Western, futuristic, global thoughts, but we will keep our feet grounded in our Indian culture. And one day, and this will become an actuality, the world will be at India's feet, and you people have a responsibility of showcasing to them the greatness of our past still lives in the future because of what we're doing in the present. That is our responsibility. So can you all resolve to say, we can take pride in our country, and we will first start not aping the West, but understanding the depths of what our country stands for first. Start putting it into practice in small things on a day-to-day basis. And I think then we'll have such a strong, resilient country that nobody anywhere can shake us. But when we become that powerhouse, I know with all humility, very humbly, we will spread a lot more peace than there is in the world today. What no president or prime minister can do, few monks are doing it right now in the United States. Few Buddhist monks decided to march thousands of miles on their feet, walk just to bring about peace, chanting for world peace. They're not thinking about themselves, because the world today is bifurcated because of religion. And the politicians are the one who keep that division. You know, all of you sit here as friends. But if there is a political discourse, they will definitely say, give me the data as to how many Christians are here, how many Muslims are here, how many Hindus are here. Because that is the way they work. They will divide and rule. Whereas these monks are walking thousands of kilometers just praying for the peace of the world. You should watch that, because it's so inspirational to see how even the policemen in the United States, people of all walks come from different countries, bowing to them at the sides of the road, because they have so much of trauma and stress in their own worlds. Why are they weeping looking at these monks? Because they exude this peace, and they feel our lives are somehow so empty. So let us realize that if we have to become not just what we ought to become in 2047, 2032, and all these milestones that we have kept for ourselves for the development, which is good, economic development is good. But I also think the parallel learning and foundation that places like this mutt are doing are so crucial to how the foundation will be so many years later. When the world looks at India, they should never leave it again, because what we can give, the peace, and the inner spirituality that can get developed for any human being, any caste, creed or religion or community, I think is what is there in our great country. And this is something that we should all, kind of start thinking about and making that difference. All I need to say before I conclude is that, I'm really glad that, we're all here today. When a collective group of people have strong, positive, pure thoughts, we can actually create a ripple in the future. Can we just have few seconds? Can you all sit up, please? Sit with your back straight, eyes closed. Thank you. Unless we have control of our physical body, How are we going to have control over our mind? Let us all have the grace of God to give us those strong bodies which house a strong mind. The mind that can choose what is right and what is wrong and resolve to do only that which is right. And when that happens, let the divine soul blossom in each one of us, because we are that powerhouse of energy. We are the powerhouse of spirituality. Anything and everything that we resolve here will become an actuality. When we think we can, we can. So let us resolve that we will stick to our traditions, our culture. And when we think of doing something, we will do only that which is right. When you have the women of the country on the right path, they create a wonderful household because they are the first teachers for the children. And when one family flourishes, the neighborhood flourishes. And when the neighborhood flourishes, we have a beautiful city. And when a city flourishes, the state flourishes. And when the states flourish, the country flourishes. Do not ever think that you are insignificant. You are that powerhouse that can shake our country. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your valuable and courageous words. Let us now welcome our young speaker for the day, Kumari Saloni Uttam, an employee at Deloitte and a volunteer of VIHE, for her insights on Vivekananda and leadership qualities.
My humble pranams at the feet of the Holy Trio, Swami G, our guest speaker for today, Miss Usha, and all devotees and audience members present today. As Priyanka just mentioned, I am a volunteer at VIHE, and I've been asked to share a few words about my journey and the concept of leadership. But in the sacred context of why we have gathered here today and what we are celebrating this week, my journey is merely a speck. I was born and brought up across many cities of India: Bhatinda, Meerut, Lucknow, Kolkata, and even the beautiful city of Hyderabad. Each of these are my home and have deeply shaped me. I studied English literature at the University of Delhi and went on to graduate with a master's from Columbia University in New York, where my thesis focused on the buzzword of the decade, artificial intelligence, but also a lesser explored field, peace technology. And now I work in the field of learning at Deloitte, here in the beautiful and historic city of Hyderabad. I am often asked why I decided to come back from the US, and the answer lies in my training as a Dexter. As a graduate of the Dexterity School of Leadership and Entrepreneurship, one of the core tenets of our training is learning and relearning how to merge our educational journey with a nation's journey. Our mentor and the founder of Dexterity Global, Sharad Sir, often reminds us that real leadership is servant leadership, and it often requires us to build and act at the grassroots level. Over the years, many incredible Dexters have followed Sharad Sir's footsteps to return to Bharat and work in cities, towns, and remote rural areas of our incredible country. In many ways, the spirit of our training as Dexters is a direct echo of Swami Vivekananda's teachings. In his historic address at Mehboob College on Feb 13, 132 years ago, Swami G declared, "Our motherland must be rejuvenated. My US visit is a tool in this process." And it is the same for us Dexters. It is in the relentless pursuit of this ideal, in response to this clarion call that remains as strong as the day that it was uttered, that dexters who come from humble families of India go on to receive world-class education on full scholarships and return to Mother India without a second thought to serve Indian national life as Swamiji's dedicated workers. Today is a profoundly special day. 132 years ago, Swamiji blessed the city of Hyderabad with his presence, leaving an indelible mark on the city and its people. And 19 years ago, on this very day, Dexterity was founded, deeply inspired by his immortal teachings. Every year, Feb 10 is also observed as the International Day of Dexterity in remembrance of Basant Sir, one of the brightest minds of our time. Like his auspicious visit to Hyderabad strengthened Swamiji's resolve to carry the message of Vedanta to the West and lead an awakening that we still continue to draw strength from, I hope this day helps us all manifest the divinity within. May we go forth with fiery faith in ourselves and fearless empathy for others in service of this incredible nation that gave us eternal guides like Swami Vivekananda. Jai Ramakrishna.
Thank you so much, Saloni, for your valuable inputs. We now welcome the young speaker, Kumari Kyati Kosaraju, ex-Balvika student, a national level tennis champion and sportsman. Let us now welcome Kyati onto the stage.
Namaste everyone. I feel honored to be on this stage today. I would like to thank Swami G for giving me this opportunity. I'm Kyati Kosaraju of class 12A, currently studying in Jubilee Hills Public School. I have also been a part of Balvi classes and VIH courses in this month. It's not just about how being into these courses, Swamiji and everybody taught me how important and how strong and how mentally strong and physically you can challenge your life in the future. I would like to begin with my journey. At a very young age, my dad joined me into sports, kayaking, which is a water sport. Later, at the age of 6, I have participated in the nationals and been the youngest in the nation. Later, I showed interest in canoeing and changed my sport, which is one of the hardest sports in the world. It takes years to perfect it, but it just took me 2 weeks. Later, my dad saw the potential in me and changed my sport into tennis, which is a world-class game. It's not just about how physically or mentally strong you are. You have to fight every day. You have to have a routine. You have to follow a strict diet and everything. And eventually, I have perfected. And I have also had many national awards, and I have participated in the nationals, in the Khelo India Games, and I have also started my international tournaments recently. I've been to a few countries, and I've recently started internationals, and now I'm going to start WTA, which is a World Tennis Association, which is for seniors. And my goal in the future is to be into the Grand Slams, and I would like to represent my country in the Grand Slams. As right now, Sania Mirza is one of a known tennis player from our country, and also Rohan Bopanna in the men's. It's not just about them, but even it's my dream to technically be into the world-class tennis. And I have, at a very young age, I have been into marathons, triathlons, where my dad had to literally sign a death certificate because they might not allow me at the age of 9. And then eventually I was the top in the marathons and triathlons, which was not so easy, but I have done it being into tennis is like you have to follow a strict routine, waking up for 4 in the morning and then having a trained session till 11 o'clock, and then I also have to manage my academics, so I had to attend school. And then after school I had to again have my training sessions and then come home, have some food, and then study, because it's obviously I have to pass in my exams too. So yeah, and then it was a daily routine and then I had to skip school most of the time because of my tournaments and everything. I would like to conclude this. We learn more than football, than the thought study of Gita. What we want are muscles of iron and nerves of steel, inside which dwells the mind of the same material, or that of which the thunderbolt is made. Emphasis of Swami G on holistic development which involves physically. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Swami G.
ధ్యానం చేస్తున్నారా, యోగ నిద్రలో ఉన్నారా? కొంతమంది కళ్ళు తెరిచి నిద్రపోతున్నారు కూడా. Are you here? Have you heard that beautiful Sanskrit stotra? It's an offering by the great artists of Bombay who understood Swamiji's teachings properly, put it into beautiful 6 stanzas. Jayatu Veera Sannyasi. You are not sitting here only for banana and laddu. Okay? Swamiji was not for putting flowers in the ears and sitting and doing some mantra and tantra. Jayatu Veera Sannyasi, heroic monk. Yati Raja, king of monks. Every sentence, every paragraph ends with that. Jayatu Veera Sannyasi. 1863, January 12th. 1902, July 4th. Man left his body. 39 years, 5 months, 24 days. Kel Katam. Physically. But he said, my work will be in India, in the whole world, not for 5 years or 10 years, but for 15 centuries. 15 శతమానాల వరకు నా సందేశం భారత యువకులు యువతీయులు అర్థం చేసుకుంటారు, ప్రయత్నిస్తారు. 15 centuries. But he did work only for 8.5 years. That is why he is called the heroic monk. When he went to America, he was 30 years, 30. Not for a job, not for tourism, not for diplomatic politics, but to spread the message of our culture, country. The entire song, Stotram, is based on that. When he went around the whole country for 4.5 years, on the way coming to Hyderabad, he observed everything. He absorbed the spirit of India. What did he observe? Greatness, glory, wonderful people, the richness of India, the treasures of India, the architecture of India, the music of India, the meditation of India. But he saw poverty, he saw superstition, he saw women being oppressed and suppressed. He could not tolerate. It was as if 1,000 horses were running on his chest. ఒక 1000 గుర్రాలు తన హృదయం మీద ఎవరైనా వ్యక్తి మీద పరిగెడుతూ ఉంటే ఎలా ఉంటుంది? He'll become suppressed and oppressed and crushed. That was Swamiji's heart. So much pain, so much misery he saw. He himself went through those pains. That is what second paragraph says. And he gave a new science to the whole world. Navavignan. The old science, he said, keep it aside. Take a new science, new Vedanta. History, Puranas, observation in God, and transformed his personality. Jayatu Veera Sannyasi. The next para says, he traveled from village to village. 4.5 years. He did not believe in books. He did not believe what the British said or what his father and mother said. He wanted to see by himself. So it went up to the Himalayas, came down to Kanyakumari. 1888 he started. 1892 he completed. All of you who are here should visit every state in the country before you get settled. Otherwise it's a waste. Only seeing cinema, seeing TV, seeing some news here and there, petty politics, your country you will not understand. How many of you, just raise your hand if yes is the answer, have seen the northeast part of India? 7 sisters from Assam and above. ఎవరు లేరు. బిర్యానీ తిని ఊరికనే కూర్చుంటే భారతదేశం గురించి ఏం తెలుస్తుంది మీకు? What cinema actors tell, what politicians tell, what newspaper tells is India. My dear friends, I had the privilege, invitation to travel to Tripura. We have 4 schools in Tripura state, northeast. I had the privilege, opportunity to travel to Meghalaya, beautiful state. You can catch clouds by your hand. Who gave the name Meghalaya? Rabindranath Tagore. Everywhere Megha, Megha, Megha. So beautiful. And then next 22nd, 23rd, I am going to the chicken neck area of India. Siliguri, Jalpaiguri, Darjeeling. Ramakrishna Mission is working there. We have a center in Manipur for school children. You should visit it. As much as Rajasthan, as much as Karnataka. Study India. See the greatness of India. That is what Swami Vivekananda did before going to America. Then next para says, participating in the Chicago Parliament of Religions. 27 world leaders are sitting on that stage. It's a beautiful photograph in the net, in our books also. Young monk of 30 amidst this entire galaxy of world leaders. But his own speech stands as world famous. 3.5 minute speech. That is what is told in the next stanza. And last paragraph says, like Buddha, like Shankara, like the great leaders renounced everything. He could have had the whole world in his hand. Somebody said, great leader said Vivekananda could become the president of the whole world if he wished. But he said, no, gutter called name, gutter called fame, I spit on it. I've come here with love of humanity, love of Indian culture. I will give it and go. That is what is said here. Like Buddha, Shankara, and many other great people, he gave up everything. All name, fame, personal desires. Anni odilisi velipadu. Living in the hearts of the people now. Since 133 years. Okay? So this is Jayatu Veera Sannyasi. When he conquered America, he became Vishwa Vijeta Sannyasi. After a couple of years, he became Vishwa Manava, universal man. And quickly I'll go through one point. Dr. Usha Reddy thanking her for a wonderful presentation and ideas to make you think and think and think and put it into practice. She was telling about the difficulties that Vivekananda had when he went to America all alone. In the beginning I told you, he is not representing India. It was a slave country, British Raj. You say India, tannevar valani, kottevar. And then 9th September, full alert ga vinandi. He was sitting on the footpath in Michigan Avenue in Chicago. Now it is called the Vivekananda Way because he was sitting on the footpath, on the road. No food, no cup of coffee, no bathing for 3 days. He was insulted. He went to one house for begging. Kukkal nodiler, Alsatian kukkal line mida. He had to run away because he was a brown man. Racism. Rendo inti velladu Vivekananda. Servants pushed him out and threw him out. Beggar, nigger, and chivatlu petti avamanam chesi bayatiki panపించారు. He went to a third house. They did not know English. They were German speaking people. What did they do? They slammed the heavy door of the house on his face. Dhabban talapu kottugundi tala meeda. Ekkadiki vellali? ఎక్కడ ఇండియా, ఎక్కడ ఫ్రెండ్స్, ఎవరు లేరు, ఎన్ఆర్ఐ లేదు, ఇండియన్ ఎంబసీ లేదు, బానిస దేశం నుంచి వస్తున్నాడు. He went back to Chicago railway station. 9 September. Very cold it became in Chicago. Where to sleep? No money in the pocket. He slept in the railway carriage, goods carriage. Geddi spread చేసుకొని, గడ్డి ఒంటి మీద వేసుకొని ఆ చలి కాపాడుకొని 9 September స్పెండ్ చేశాడు ఆయన. 10 September morning, coolies came and threw him out. We will arrest you, we will send you over to the police, you beggar. మళ్ళా అవమానం. ఎవరి కోసం ఇదంతా? Then he drank tap water near the lake. కడుపు నింపుకున్నాడు అట్లీస్ట్ ఒక అరగంట సేపు. He sat on the footpath. My dear friends, if you have a higher purpose, Usha Reddy Ji was speaking about the purpose and the goal. ఉన్నత ఆదర్శం మీలో లేకపోతే చిన్న చిన్న విషయాలకి బాధపడతారు, ఏడుస్తారు, కంప్లైంట్ చేస్తారు, గొడవ చేస్తారు, కోర్టుకి గొడవ వెళ్తారు, లేకపోతే ఆత్మహత్య చేసుకుంటారు. బట్ వివేకానందకి ఏముండింది? ఉన్నత ఆదర్శం. Three things he had in his heart. Number one, he had Parama Desha Bhakti, absolute faith in the country. Second, he had Parama Shastra Bhakti, absolute faith in the scriptures of India, traditions of India. Third, he had absolute faith in God. And of course, his faith in himself. Shastra Bhakti, Guru was God for him, Sri Ramakrishna, and Desha Bhakti. Three things, triangle. With this he sat on the road. Let me see what will happen. Bhagavan Sri Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, if you have these three or something very special, gates of heaven will open. Swarga ద్వారాలు తెరుచుకుంటాయి. అలాగే అయింది. రోడ్లో కూర్చున్న ఆయన సడన్గా ఆపోజిట్ ఒక పెద్ద భవనం ఉండింది. బిగ్ బంగ్లో. వన్ యంగ్ మిడిల్ ఏజ్ లేడీ, 45-year-old lady, ఇసబెల్లా ఎలన్ హేల్ అని చెప్పి ఒక తలుపులు తెరుచుకుంది, కిటికీలు తెరిచింది. So that the sunlight would give natural warmth to the house. కిటికీ నుంచి చూసింది ఒక యంగ్ monk of 30 years. He was very handsome, very strong, but he's sitting just morose, dullగా కూర్చొని ఉన్నాడు రోడ్లో. And she saw him. She did not say anything, just went back to her room. Now, my dear friends, she crossed the road, busy road in Chicago, and just went and asked him, why are you sitting here? She did not ask. What is your name? She did not ask. The only question straight away she asked, gentleman, are you a delegate to the Parliament of Religions? పేరు అడగలేదు, ఎందుకు అక్కడ కూర్చున్నావు అడగలేదు, ఏ దేశం నుంచి వస్తున్నావు అని అడగలేదు. ఆర్ యు ఎ డెలిగేట్ టు ద పార్లమెంట్ ఆఫ్ రిలిజియన్స్ అని అడిగింది ఆవిడ. లుక్ ఎట్ ది మ్యాగ్నటిజం ఆఫ్ స్వామీజీ. మీ ఇల్లు ముందు ఎవరైనా ఒక అరగంట సేపు మీ ఇల్లునే చూస్తూ నించొని ఉంటే ఏమంటారు మీరు? ఓహో, ఏదో మాస్టర్ ప్లాన్ వేస్తున్నాడు వీడు, దొంగలాగున్నాడే. Either you go, or your father will go, or somebody will go and ask him to vacate. Yes or no? This is human nature. Doubt వస్తుంది మనకి. బట్ డివైన్ నేచర్లో ఏమవుతుంది, ఆ డౌట్ అన్ని అజ్ఞానం తొలగిపోయి మంచి వైబ్రేషన్స్ క్రియేట్ అవుతాయి. దట్స్ వై షీ ఆస్క్డ్, ఆర్ యు డెలిగేట్ టు ద పార్లమెంట్ ఆఫ్ రిలిజియన్, స్ట్రైట్ అవే. Then Vivekananda, he was so happy. After 3 days, somebody is talking to him as a friend, as a human being. He jumped in joy and folded hands. He said, Mother, yes, I am. His reply was, Mother, yes, I am. She was elder to him. She's a mother. She also said, wonderful. Then why are you here on the footpath? He told, I lost the address of where accommodation is available. What to do? I've left everything. I've given up everything. I don't know where to go. She just told him, follow me. Follow me. She went. She invited her to his house. Stranger, Indian, black man, no, brown man. He had a bath. He washed his clothes. Her husband's clothes Vivekananda had to wear because he did not have any other extra pair. Had a bread, 2 slices of bread, little coffee, and she said, come with me. She took him to by horse carriage to the office of the Parliament of Religions on 10th September. And Vivekananda had another letter in his pocket. He gave it. That was his ID card. They took his name. Vivekananda signed, gave him the entry pass, and he slept like a child in her house. For the next 4.5 years, she became Mother Church. Her husband became Father Pope. They had 2 daughters. They became his wonderful beloved sisters. Never to give up their friendship again. A mother, a woman's heart, a mother's heart saved Vivekananda. Thank yourself for that. So my dear friends, that was Swamiji's difficulty, and the rest is history. From 11 September, when he became world famous, whole America opened its doors to him. So that is where Swamiji's blessings will come, Swamiji's ideas will come, when we take it little seriously and like it. And he was not that always serious, always meditation, always this. You cannot be as humorous and jokeful as Vivekananda. In America, he was so happy, so joyful. He'll speak the highest truths of Vedanta And after lecture, when he is going out to the market in New York, he will see ice cream shop. He says, let's have good ice cream. People are surprised. He speaks about Bhagavad Gita, speaks about Dhyana, speaks about this and that. Ice cream he liked very much. And how did he eat ice cream? Not with a fork and a spoon. Americans, he wanted to tease the Americans. Gloves తీసేసుకొని with the 4 fingers he used to lick the ice cream before them. Oh Swami, you don't have etiquette. The Americans ఆయన్ని కోపడేవారు. Swami Vivekananda, you don't know how to enjoy the ice cream. You always have a gloves, you always have a fork, a spoon, a knife. See, I have got 5 spoons. With that he will eat ice cream before all of them. Make them cry, make them little jealous. So free as a child, but yet deep as a Buddha. That was Swami Vivekananda. You keep that meditation pose on your table, you keep a Buddha's for 2,700 years ago, Buddha's meditation. Both were doing the same thing, searching for truth. Both were rich, Zamindari family. Buddha was a Yuvaraj, Kapilavastu. And Vivekananda was a big lawyer's son. Both gave up everything and travelled all through the length and breadth of the country. That is why you are here. That is why Ramakrishna Mission Math is there in Hyderabad and everywhere. So we will go forward with just another few minutes. We'll take a couple of questions from you. Usha Reddy will answer and I will also try to add a couple of just quick questions. Mike will come to you. You can be bold enough to ask questions about any topic that you like to clarify for 15 minutes. Then we'll show one beautiful Telugu song on Vivekananda's message and then we'll conclude. Anybody raise your hand, mic will come to you. It can be your character, it can be career, it can be your education, it can be your country. Ask any question that you like. Come out with some good ideas. It can be an observation, it can be your presentation. Yeah. Somebody stand in the center, please. Can you raise your hand? Can you stand up, please? Somebody? Yeah. Please clap for her, the first one who is asking question. Introduce yourself and ask a question.
A very good afternoon to everyone over here, ma'am, Swami G. I am Tejishri Bhuzade from AMS College of Teachers Education. So my question to you is all about the youth and the generation that we are going forward. So my question is, today's education system feels like an hollow. Today's education system feels like an hollow. As a young teacher trainee and being a teacher, how can I help the youth, me, myself and my peers ahead towards the journey of truth and liberation? Thank you.
Very good question. Beautiful. Education.
I think that was a wonderful question. And firstly, let me commend you on the choice of profession that you've taken, because I think our country needs, very many more great teachers.
Very good.
So wishing you all the very best for that.
See her on the top.
And to answer your question, there has to be a system. So there is a curriculum, and then that curriculum is transacted to the students, and at the end of it all, they pass the examinations. That is only one aspect of schooling or education. So as a young teacher, I would tell you that please look at it as not the whole purpose of education, but just one aspect. Your role as a teacher is to stand tall as an exemplary teacher so that your children, when they watch you, the way you speak, the way you act, the way you treat people, the way you empathize with someone, is a silent learning that they're imbibing from you. So you have to refine yourself to be a good human being so they can emulate you. And you also have a responsibility to look at education in a holistic manner, which means, like Swamiji said, you have to know about your country first. They have to know about their surroundings, how they treat people around them, and how do they actually have a bigger purpose in life. If you're a teacher in the lower classes, to be honest, to be disciplined, having value for time, these are the little things that perhaps you'll be teaching. But as you go to the higher classes, there should be a debate on, is West more powerful and better than the East. And then children will research and they will actually start reading about their own country. And that's how you can ignite them to value your own country. Sometimes the youth, when we keep telling them something, they want to rebel. But when you ask them to research, they kind of understand because they're smart. Okay, so you're actually leading them to read more, to understand more, and make the right choice. And that way, I think, giving them some work. See, it's not only a mental exercise, but something in action. Humanity, Swamiji spoke of. What can you do for people in the, in the villages? What can you do for the people in the slums? Being exemplary, picking up a project and executing it along with your children. Believe me, they won't remember you for which subject you taught, but they'll remember you for the values that they learned through that exercise and exposure.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah. I'll just add to, because teaching is a very important tool today, which is unfortunately becoming a job. Please, whoever is from AMS or others, do not take it as a job. Take it as a great national renaissance, national service. The future of India is not in the parliament or not in the assemblies, it is in the classroom. Education is not the amount of information that is put into your brain. First sentence she observed very carefully, it's the hollow education. My guru used to tell us, my wonderful teacher, if you are teaching history, don't teach it just like a history, but create history in the classroom. If you are teaching science, it should be like Sir C.V. Raman. It should be like Sir J.C. Bose. It should be like Satyendranath Bose. It should be like Meghnad Saha. It should be like Abdul Kalam. Students should be ignited with the spirit of science. So in that way, your information should become inspiration. To whom are you communicating? Live wires. You are not a carpenter, you are not an electrician, you are not a painter, that tomorrow I will do it. There's nothing as tomorrow in a teacher's life. It is today, now, in the classroom, what I can do in that 45 minutes or 1 hour. Be inspired teacher. Education is not the amount of information that is put into your brain, running riot, undigested all your life. It is character building, man-making education. So 2 important points, 2 challenges I'll give you, since you are in the training mode. Within that 45 minutes or 1 hour that you are teaching in a school or in a college or in any other department, your students sitting in front of you, 20, 30, 40, 50, should never look at their watch. You should take them beyond time. అయ్యో టైం అయిపోయిందే, ఇంత బోరింగ్గా ఉంది అని ఒక్క నెగటివ్ ఆలోచన మీ పిల్లల్లో రాకూడదు. దట్ ఈజ్ యువర్ రెస్పాన్సిబిలిటీ. సెకండ్, ద లాస్ట్, in the evening when they go back home, they should feel when there will be sunrise or 8 o'clock that I rush to my teacher again. They should not feel, oh, I am feeling bored in the school. Nothing doing. No boring. Boring is a very negative word. Oh, I am feeling bored. Americans ఎక్కువ చెప్తూ ఉంటారు. వాళ్ళకి వేరే పని లేదు కదా. బోరింగ్ అంటే డ్రిల్లింగ్ అని. So you should be an inspired teacher. 5 W's are always taught in your curriculum. Who is a teacher? Why are you teaching? To whom are you communicating? When are you teaching? How are you teaching? Enta process. Who is Abdul Kalam's teacher? Who taught him how the birds fly? How the birds land on a tree? That made him a missile man? Sri Subramanya Iyer of St. Joseph's College, Trichy. Buddha had 5 teachers. Vivekananda had Sri Ramakrishna as his teacher. Okay? So all the great people's teachers, you read a beautiful biographies, beautiful stories, and be inspired in your life. The wonderful subjects, Gnana Agni. You are taking science to the classroom. It is fire of knowledge. Even sport, even meditation, even anything, any subject that you are profession. So that kind of inspiration you can have and make yourself an ideal for higher purpose, and your students one day should. There was a couple of years back in the Padma Awards, Padma Bhushan, Padma Shri, Padma Bhushan, Padma Vibhushan. One teacher was 105 years old who got Padma Shri. 105-year-old teacher got Padma Shri. He is from a rural village in Bhubaneswar, near Bhubaneswar. Just Hawai chappal, one dhoti, one ordinary cotton shirt. He is going in the Ashoka Hall of Rashtrapati Bhavan. First time he is visiting Delhi. But you know why he got Padma Shri, selected for a Padma Shri from a backward village in Orissa? For 75 years, 75 years, that teacher gave free education to thousands and thousands of village children. That is his seva to the country. Government recognized when he was 105 years old. When Ramnath Kovindji was the President of India, he gave that Padma Shri award. There's an interesting, very interesting thing that happened when he was given the Padma Shri badge. This poor 105-year-old, not able to walk, with a support, he walked slowly. He is little below. Ramnath Kovindji was little higher and is taller also. He bent a little and tried to put that Padma Shri badge on his pocket. The teacher in him awoke. He thought, this 105-year-old teacher thought, Ramnath Govindji, the President of India, is doing namaskaram to him. He kept his hand on his head. See? Spontaneous. Ashirvadan chesaడు President of India ki. It's against protocol. You can't do like that. But barriers are not there for a teacher. You know what Ramnath Kovindji replied? He did not hesitate. Something spontaneously, the goodness in him came out. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, and did namaskaram to him. He received it and went back to his seat. Whether he's alive or not, we do not know, because at 105 years, ripe old man gets Padma Shri, because 75 years of serving and serving and serving poor people in India. So in that way, you can become an excellent teacher and great teacher and inspire your younger generations to become excellent students, enlightened citizens of our country. Wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir. This reminds me of a very famous quote. I would like to quote for everyone. Never ask what your country has given you. Never ask what your country has given you. Always ask what you can do for your country. Always ask what you can do for your country.
Fantastic.
Thank you. This reminds me.
Thank you. Very nice. Anybody else, please? Can you stand up who wants to ask a question? Or yes, introduce yourself, Amma.
Namaste Guruji, Namaste ma'am. I am Varshita from Keshav Memorial College. I want to ask a question which I have personally experienced with my past days. How can a girl, as we discussed just now, as Swamiji has alonely traveled his own life, how can a girl can travel her own life without any support? Like, you can suggest any things that how can an individual can move in this society of this generation?
Well, I think I see some answers in your questions itself, which may be actually stopping. So what makes you think that you cannot travel alone? When a woman has a belief in herself, she can achieve anything. But in your question itself, when you say, how can a woman travel, that means you are already in doubt. And I would urge you to have that faith in yourself, you know, that you have the ability to do anything that you want, not just travel across the world, but across the world also. Recently, there was a Nari Shakti award given, by the Prime Minister to a girl who was the first one in the Navy to actually circumference the earth alone and come back. She was a team member. Okay, the first lady who was part of that. That means what? They do not, they have to go all around the world and then come back. And this expedition had started from India, and she was one of them. I was unfortunate, it was that I could not meet her, but her father came to the school and gave us a book about, her entire journey. So if she could have the guts to go around the world and then come back and get recognized, what do you think she would have had?
Self-confidence.
What would she have? Firstly, she made up her mind that she can do it, that she wants to do it, and that's going to be the purpose. No matter what the hurdles are on the way, that she will conquer it and then she will come back as the first lady to have done it. So when she set her mind to it, no matter what hurdles come, you will overlook that because you have a larger purpose in life. So, to all the youngsters, if we feel that we can do it, we surely can. So I think first have that self-belief. I think having conviction, having self-belief is most important. Not others telling you you can do it, but you believe that you can do it. Then you will only see the positives. If there are small hurdles, you will just with a wink, cross those hurdles and then just move on. So, make yourself mentally strong. And also, I think all we need as women is preparedness for the future. When I say that, it is good to know of the good and the bad that are happening, but also teach a woman, how she can overcome it. See, life is never going to be a smooth sail. Like the waves, like you saw in that movie, seeing the waves go up and down, and he derived inspiration for that. So there will be ups and downs in life. So when there's something wrong, some people will go and commit suicide. Imagine, Swamiji was just telling me in the morning of a judge's son who was, played the Ranji at 19 years. He was such a good cricketer. But because of an accident, he had a bad wrist injury. And then what happened to him? He knew he couldn't play. He did not think of what else can I do for the love of cricket? What else can I do for my country? Can I not create more cricketers like me? Even if I cannot play, can I not become a coach? He did not think. He ended his life. And Swamiji was saying he met them and the father has now become depressed. So whether it's a man or a woman, life is not smooth. But it's our attitude and perspective that will make all the difference. So have faith in yourself first. You will be able to achieve anything.
Thank you, ma'am.
Let me just add to her solution to your difficulty. Recently I met a young officer, employee in the GMR airport. Okay? She is from Hyderabad only. She is employed in GMR airport as one of the managers looking after the safety of passengers. Okay? You know what? Single-handed, she has visited all the 12 Jyotirlingas and 52 Shakti Pitas in the country. I was surprised, thrilled and inspired. She went all the way to Somnath by unreserved compartment. She went to Amarnath, she went to Rameshwaram, she went to Ujjain, she came to Srishailam. All the 12 Jyotirlingas and 52 Shakti Pitas she has visited. All by her own. Only mantra she had, never say no, never say cannot, for you are infinite. అనంతమైన శక్తి నాలో ఉన్నప్పుడు ఒక స్టేషన్కో ఒక దీంట్లోకి వెళ్ళడానికి ఏమి నాకు ఈ తలనొప్పి. సిస్టర్ నివేదిత లైఫ్ చదువు, సిస్టర్ నివేదిత వీడియోస్ ఉన్నాయి. సిస్టర్ నివేదిత వాజ్ ద ఫస్ట్ ఉమెన్ డిసైపుల్ ఆఫ్ స్వామి వివేకానంద who travelled 8,000 miles from London to Calcutta to start a small school because her guru told India needs good teachers and confident women who can do something for child widows. She did it. Josephine MacLeod, she travelled 6 months in her 45 years, every 6 months to talk to people about India. She went to Italy, she went to Germany, she went to Russia, she went to France, she went to Europe, she went to America, talked with the most top political leaders, told them about Swami Vivekananda, told them about India, told them about our culture and brought their help for India. She did it for 45 years every 6 months. And 6 months she used to stay in India, travelling in India all alone during the British time. Somebody asked, Madam, you are a Western lady, young lady, 45 years, you are carrying money, you are going alone in a horse carriage or in a bullock cart and small trains. Don't you think you will be in trouble? You know what she said? When Vivekananda is in my heart and I am doing his service, not one hair in my body nobody can touch without my permission. Tremendous confidence, tremendous Shakti Swami Vivekananda will give you. That will be your food, that will be your energy, that will be your lighthouse. People will support you, people will work on you. Follow the rules, follow this one, and little bit of adventure, you can conquer Mount Everest also, which will look small for you. Physically you are small, but internally you are infinite. Think about it. And if you are nearest station you want to go, please ask me, I will help you. Next, please. Anybody? Good questions. Both were very good questions. Yeah. Quickly. Yeah, it is coming. Let her ask.
Good afternoon, Guruji and ma'am. Before I start asking this question, I would expect an answer that bring a change in everyone here. So as we talked about the spirituality and the history, and right from our childhoods, we are being only taught about the Mughals or Britishers in our textbooks. And if that base is only not strong, how could we expect a child to get into a spiritual track?
Fantastic. What's your name and which college?
I am Anushrija from Keshav Memorial College.
Very good.
I really love the question. But I also would like to say in the same breath that there are certain things we can change within our fold and certain things which we cannot. Unfortunately, the curriculum, the content is a political issue. So one government will delete part of what is there in history, the other government will come and do something which is totally opposite. But what ought to be there, the change, it's not a cat and mouse game that they're playing, but nobody is using their intellect, like you rightly said, to say, how can we revamp our entire curriculum? In small nuts and bolts, they're saying, okay, let's put skill development, let's put something else. But nobody is talking of the strength of our culture and how it should become part of the curriculum. Like you rightly said, then I think the foundation will be stronger. Now I'm talking of a curriculum, which is some political person will be calling the shots, which we cannot change as teachers. So that's why my answer to that other young teacher in the making, I said that is our responsibility and our duty to the nation by driving that parallel stream of learning. Even if it is not there in the textbook, what is there in the textbook is only for the purpose of examinations. But the other parallel track that I'm talking of is for life itself. And that is what a teacher should do. Put them on the right track and ground them. Fortunately, from my childhood, I've had the fortune of studying in a school where I think we had every evening something called Astachal. Where we would go and then meditate. Just watch the sun down. They didn't even use words like meditation. What would happen in a child's mind is that they reflect what happened through the day. What happened good, what happened bad, what I could have done better. And the child resolves to say that, I am going to learn from this. Tomorrow is a fresh start, the sun is going to rise again. And I hope I don't make the same mistakes as I did today. So when a teacher gives better guidance and, kind of better inputs about our country, about our culture, when she ignites that in a child as a parallel spark, then I think that will last a lifetime.
Yeah, I'll just add something else. Two facts for all of you you can browse through the net in their website. Just recently, last week, I was going to Mysore. Then, what is Mysore famous for? There's a beautiful river. Mysore has got a beautiful river. Karnataka has got a beautiful river. Quick, Auntie. Hello, are you here? Are you in India? What is that river which flows through Mysore and comes to Tamil Nadu? Kaveri. Intasep chappadam. Kaveri flows through the Krishna Rajasagar Dam and comes through Srirangapatna and then moves forward. Okay. On the banks of river Kaveri, one of my friends one of our devotees took me to a Kanya Gurukulam which is running since 2013 on the banks of the river Kaveri by a retired agricultural scientist. His daughter is the principal of the school. In that school, for your kind information, they take girls from 8th standard, first, then 9th, they will grow into 12th standard, and 12th outward, they will put them into higher education. From day 1, 8th standard girl from a rural village in Karnataka, Dharwad side, Belagavi side, enters the school or admitted into the school under strict rules and what interviews and exam about Indian culture, values, and parents also are interviewed. They will not speak in any other language except Sanskritam. They don't know what is Sanskritam, but the seniors who have passed through that gates will teach them through sign language and through showing this, that what is that word for that particular, whether it's a flower, whether it's a mic, whether it's a table, whether it's a chair, whether it's pani, jalam, whether it's a pustakam, they keep on telling. By 2-3 months, the mind is so fresh, it gets registered with the Sanskrit words, and they are free from the watchman till the principal, all are speaking in Sanskrit. The whole school, number one. Till today, they have trained nearly 65 girls, both in science and Indian culture. They are not depending on the government, they are not depending upon politics, they have their own syllabus, they follow the state syllabus of Karnataka, they have become scientists, they undergo BCom training, some of them chartered accountants, but they are studying Indian culture, Indian science, whether the Vedic mantras and that scriptures, Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads, all that they will study and put that into practice in their life. It's a great service that they are doing for the society of Karnataka, and those girls will become great Indian citizens later. First root, then branch out. So this is one where you can see the website, Kaveri Kanya Gurukulam, Cauvery, that not Kaveri, Cauv, website is there. Their videos also are there in the YouTube, what is going on in Indian culture and with modern education. Another little elderly lady on the banks of river Narmada. Where does Narmada flow? Narmada nadi ఏ స్టేట్ లోంచి వెళ్తుంది? Geography. It goes through Madhya Pradesh. So today you are getting geography lessons also. Okay. Narmada flows, Narmada, Kaveri, Ganga is all famous mother rivers. Right? And then on the banks of the river Narmada, there is a Gurukulam for girls called Narmadalaya. Taken care by an educationist, finance secretary she was in the government of India in 2004. A very high post. In 15 days she resigned because Swami Ranganathanji told her, who was the founder of this center, the first president of this center, he told her, why you are working in politics and with the government, go and train the women of India in the villages of Narmada. Within 15 days she resigned. She has started Narmadalaya. Her name is Srimati Bharati Thakur. 25 years she is working on the banks of river Narmada for girls. Both scientific education and spiritual education. She is balancing both. This year is a 25-year celebration. Our monks from Indore, from Gwalior, from Bhopal, they go there and support her and talk to her, and she comes and stays with our mission people also. She leads a simple life, but a rich life. Tremendous service to the country. So how the women are working on the other side. So these two websites are there. Please look into it after go home and gain more inspiration and see if you can visit that places. Or in Telangana itself, some people are working on it. You can visit and get more knowledge and more inspiration so that Swami Vivekananda will inspire you. In the front, some girls asked some question. Please, can you stand up? Here? Just watch. Here somebody. Okay, just you have to stand up. Yeah, please, quickly.
Namaskaram Swamiji.
Namaste.
Namaskaram ma'am. I am Gauravi from RBBR Women's College.
Okay.
Actually, my doubt and question is that what is actual independence or a freedom for a woman means?
Very nice. Challenging question. Yeah.
And how can we tell that one particular girl or a woman is she is given freedom or she is independent?
Okay, please continue.
So to me, I would say freedom is something not given by somebody, but then we kind of take it by ourselves. But when we talk of freedom, we must also talk of responsibility. So when somebody says that there are no rules, I can break all rules, I can do whatever I want, and they think that's freedom, it isn't. Because there will be a decline in the track that they're taking. But when you talk of freedom with responsibility and with awareness, then I think, whatever you want to achieve can be done. It is stated in, societal norms that for a woman to be totally free, it is important for her not just to be educated and to have belief in herself, but also to have financial independence. So I think, these things practically when you look at it, women can never be free unless they are financially also independent. Because when you are financially independent, then certain choices that you make either for your children, for your family or whatever becomes an actuality. Otherwise you will always be dependent on somebody. That's a hard fact of life. But the belief that each one must have is that freedom is not from outside. Nobody need give it to you. You can choose, but choose wisely, choose right, and deal with your freedom in a righteous manner and achieve whatever you want to achieve.
We'll take quick questions. Another two more and we'll conclude. Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Fatima from Sujata College. Everyone over here, we have our ethics, our values, our education values. But as you have achieved so much in life and you have been awarded so many times, what were the primary values that led you to become what you have become today? Thank you.
Very good. Fantastic.
Thank you for asking
Very
me that.
good question.
But I have to share my personal story then with you, which I will. Well, I came from a reasonably good family, and I went to good schools, I went to great colleges, I did well. I wasn't very studious, and those days in my family especially, no women worked. So it was a given norm that you get your graduation at least, and then the next step is they'll get you married. So I never really had anything beyond that. I was just fun-loving and simple. And I got married into a family which was equally a good family, but life, like I said, throws some shocks at you. I lost my husband when I was in my late 30s. Okay? Till then I didn't work. And there were little complication with the properties. And I thought I have 2 little children. That's why I say that the mother, when she has the grit, she will do anything and everything to make her children survive. And so I said, just before that I had worked in a school as a volunteer for some time, when my friend actually had gone to US because she didn't have children and she wanted to conceive. And that's how 6 months before this incident happened, God's destiny, my destiny was shaped by God by putting me in a career. And she said, just take care of the school for a few months. So day 1 I went in as a principal, not knowing what to do. The second day she left for US. Now I had to go around the classes, I had to learn for myself. Fortunately I was good at English. Fortunately, I had great teachers, so I knew what great teaching was. And I realized the way they were teaching the children was kind of rote. I got on to, kind of training the teachers. Then I realized after this incident that this is my passion and perhaps I need to take this seriously. I did not have the qualifications. The minimum qualification for a principal should at least have a B.Ed, which all teachers have. I hadn't finished it because he was in hospital. So after I joined in Hyderabad, I said I have to take this examination. The owners were kind enough. But to do that, and after so many years to study, I didn't have confidence. But I said I have to do it for the sake of my children. Believe me, when I went for the exam to write, my hand was shivering so much I had to use my left hand to keep it steady. I was so underconfident. I knew everything. And I just took 1 week for the exams. I didn't have time to study. But that qualification was not enough because all the teachers were more qualified. Then I said, I need to study more. What would I do? I have a day full where I'm working as a principal. Evening, I have 2 children. I have issues in the house. What would I do? The only thing is to manage your time, and I started getting up at 3:30. So 3:30 to 5 o'clock was the time I had for myself. And I said 1 degree after the other while working, sometimes taking care of 2 schools. Then it became 4 later on. I picked up 5 degrees until I did my PhD. And while I was doing this, because of Swamiji's advice, I also adopted those 15 government schools. So every weekend I would go there and serve them. And I would, kind of help those children there, build toilets for them, get the thing, give them whatever they wanted. All I can say, Ma, is this. That when you have a resolve and you feel that you want, I was an average student, but believe me, in logic cannot top the Usmania University. Much later when I did my philosophy, and why did I study philosophy? Because I wanted to understand why I had so many shocks in my life. What have I done? Because in this life I hadn't done anything. Why others are okay, why I'm not? Then I realized the value. I studied both Western and Indian philosophy, thinking I'd find an answer. But at least I got some awareness that life must go on. So I didn't stop. And when you do everything right, you know, things fall into your lap. I met 3 presidents of India on invitation, apart from receiving the award from one president of India. 3 governors called and gave me the awards. I never applied for a single award. I had breakfast with the Prime Minister, you know, to discuss the future of Indian education. What more can an ordinary housewife ask for? And I will tell you that sometimes adversities are what make you what you are. And I could have stopped saying it's a hurdle. I didn't. I said, for the sake of my children, I need to struggle. I was never interested in studies, but my profession called for those degrees. And as I did it, I also evolved. I studied even Sri Aurobindo, Mother, you know, what is the difference between them? What is Swami Vivekananda? So all the philosophies of education, because that's my line, right from Mahatma Gandhi's views on education to Swami Vivekananda's contribution and vision for education to, you know, Jittu Krishnamurti's vision of, you know, how you can have alternate schools and so on and so forth. So when you have a resolve, it will come. Just do it as best as you can. Don't compete with anybody else. One day, people will say that you are the best.
Thank
you, ma'am.
Next, please. Yeah. Switch on, switch on.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Tamim Siddiqui of Sujata Degree College, first year. And by the profession, I am a businesswoman. So I keep traveling to all the state of India. And I don't get time for the academic activities. So my question is and my dream is to become a great teacher and a motivational speaker to inspire the citizen of India. So my question is to ma'am, how can I manage all the things together? How can I do the multiple challenges in my life? And I find the lack of time. So how can I manage the time also to do all the activities in my life? My dream to represent my India on national level. So thank you so much.
I'm so glad that you are a businesswoman and an entrepreneur at this age. I think that's absolutely phenomenal. I'm sure that you said you're traveling to so many places, right? So when you travel, I know that you will probably have some spreadsheets, some data, something to present. Maybe you're busy. But you know, even when you want to rest, listen to an audiobook. That will motivate you. So when you want to do something, when you want to read, when you want to get inspired, you know, I'm sure that you will find the time. You know, proper time management has been one of the cornerstones of, you know, at least in my personal life. You know, I can stretch myself a little more and a little more and a little more. And I can just tell you this. The difference between ordinary and extraordinary is just that little extra put in front of ordinary. So to become extraordinary, that little extra time, that little extra effort, you know, that little extra initiation, you know, is what will distinguish you apart from anybody else who's just going ahead in an ordinary way. So, you know, you will find time for everything that you want to do. First, you make up your mind that you want to do it, and automatically you will find ways and means to do it. Women are known to be great multitaskers. And I believe that you are one such person. And if you make up your mind, you definitely will succeed.
At the end, I would like to thanks for inviting us to the event. And I really appreciate everyone's effort, including you and sir and all the staff. Thank you so much. Really grateful for the journey from my college side, Sujata Junior College. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Very good. Next, to your right. Yeah. Yes, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Tripura of Sujata Junior College. My question is, we know that Swami Vivekananda spoke about conquering the mind. So, in the world full of distractions today, how can one get the most practical and ideal way to conquer their mind?
Mind is a monkey. Koti buddhi. Okay, I'll just quickly go through this point because that's my favorite subject, and that is related to what your other friend asked about time management. Time management depends upon mind management. If there's a mind, there will be time. If there is a time, it's a mind. Okay. Now, monkey mind, why they said, Vivekananda said, monkey is by basically restless. Have you seen monkey meditating? Then it is not a monkey. Monkey means restless, right? Number one. And this monkey, Mr. or Mrs. I don't know, was very thirsty. It went on searching for water in entire Gandhinagar, Vidyanagar, up to Tarnaka it went. It did not get water. It went to OU, saw a big water tank, and it thought, I will get little water now. It opened the tap there, no water, tank is empty. It became more restless. Then it saw a bottle. Somebody had thrown a bottle under a tree, water bottle like. There was something there, liquid. Without knowing what it is, it opened that bottle. First thing, my throat has become dry. I want to quench it. Daham tirchukovali. Then she drank the entire content of the bottle. Swami Vivekananda says, unfortunately it was not water, it was a bottle of wine. Imagine the condition of the poor monkey. Koncham tagutene, I am the Prime Minister of India, anted RTC crossroad la. Okay. If the full tagindandi, my God, head is reeling, eyes are reeling, uncontrollable. It sat on the branch of a tree. It's not able to sit because intoxicated. Right? And the problem did not end of the monkey. One scorpion was coming down. Oh, my dear monkey, where were you all these days? Hello, my dear friend, and karchindi. It bit the monkey. And scorpion bite will be very painful. It started shouting, screech, kitch, 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 kitch. Then there was a ghost sitting on the tree. Ghost. Daytime they will be sleeping, nighttime they are active. Ghost got up in the middle of the day and said, you fool, you taught me, you disturbed my sleep, I'll teach you a lesson. It entered into the monkey. So 4 in 1 problem. Okay, number 1, restless. Number 2, drinking wine. Number 3, scorpion bite. Number 4, ghost entering into the monkey. Imagine, Vivekananda says, with that mind you have to meditate. How can it be possible? So similarly, our problem also, what question you asked, mind, right? By nature, we are also restless. Maximum 7 minutes, 8 minutes concentration, and after the class, we are somewhere else, restless. Second, what did the monkey drink in the garden? Wine. What am I drinking? What human being is drinking? The wine of desire. Gurtupettukondi padalu. Wine of desire. Naku, I want. For that I can do whatever I like. Drinking the wine of desire. Number 3, problem? Scorpion biting. What is biting human beings? The scorpion of jealousy. Irsha, asuya. Na intlo lendi pakkintlo undakudadu. Unte nanni himsista. Jealousy. Number 4, problem of the monkey? Ghost. What is our problem? The ghost of ego. Ahankaram ane deyyam manlo prati roju. Do you know who I am? You don't know, you are in a bubble. And peti path the godaval chestundu. So 4 problems: restless, desire, jealousy, and ego. So now quickly solutions now. For restlessness, yogasanas and meditation. Restlessness will reduce. Not that it will go completely. Tagutundi. Wine of desire. Seva karo, desires come ho jayega. Go and serve in a hospital. Go and serve in the village. Go and serve in an orphanage. Your desires will reduce. Because there is somebody else who is suffering more than you. Okay? Number 3, jealousy. Pray for others. Think of the good of others. Sarve bhavantu sukhinaha. So you also share your good things with others and reduce the jealousy. Number 4, ahankaram. Pogaru. Ego. That will go by another important practice called dasoham. I am the servant. This is called servant leadership. That girl referred who has come back from Columbia University. Servant leadership. Hanuman was a great servant. Vivekananda was a great servant. Abdul Kalam, this is not bonded labor. Servant and banisa gadu. Paid worker gadu. It is naturally that you are doing service to the country. Then what will happen? Ego will reduce. And your mind will be free, fresh, pure, and anywhere it will become like a photographer. It will become like a camera. Wherever you put, you can concentrate, and within a short time you will get the best knowledge possible. Think about it and work on it. Okay? We have mind management class for 1 week. You can attend and gain more knowledge and more lessons you will get. Okay? Yes. Little forward, please. We'll conclude. Last question. Somebody has got up already. Okay. Quick.
Namaste, Swamiji.
Namaste.
Namaste, ma'am. This is Aishwarya, student of Spurti Degree PG College. My question is,
Yeah, continue.
what should be top 3 values in life?
Top 3 values.
I think for me it would be like to be honest to my own self. I think that is very important because your consciousness is what is very, very important. The world may not know what you have done, but you know what you are doing right or wrong. So I think for me, being honest to yourself and your consciousness is extremely important. And the second thing, like Swamiji said, is like not to think of yourself all the time, but to think of the larger purpose in how you can actually serve humanity. So I think thinking beyond yourself is a great value to have. And the last one would be to have respect. Respect for everyone around you, treat everybody equally, respect the elders in your home and everywhere else. And without them, who are we? So unless you respect the older generation, I think, we are not doing justice. In a similar way, we have to respect everybody who is around us. It could be your home help, it could be the children, it could be your neighbor, it could be anybody else. So being respectful, I think, is also an important value.
Thank you. Yeah, conclude now, quickly, yeah.
A very good afternoon to everyone.
No more questions, please. Last, okay.
The dignitaries over present here, and the chief guest Usha Ma'am Garu, and Swamiji, and the elders, and also my dear friends from various colleges.
Now start your question.
I'm Trisha from Rishi Ubiar Women's College, currently pursuing my MBA, second year. Firstly, to the entire management, thank you for inviting us.
Question. You have got other programs also. Quick.
Okay, ma'am, here is my question that what role does the spirituality plays in someone's life in developing personality development, like in shaping personality development?
Okay.
I think it's the very backbone of our existence, if I have to put it in one line. So without that, I think we will, not exist in a proper manner in this world. And unless we have, spirituality is the innate quality that all of us must ignite. And without that, I think our lives would be totally different. So experiencing it calls for a lot of discipline, practice. And, I would urge that, you're all very young. So I think you should begin, even it's never too late, and ensure that that becomes a part of your life. It's not something apart from life, but it is a part of our lives. So the earlier we recognize the importance of that, I think we will be in a better state.
Yeah, we'll conclude now because there's still one important program is there about self-defense. Those who want to know self-defense can be a little more defensive. Okay? Our young students will display that. We'll conclude now. On behalf of all of you, I convey my thanks to Dr. Usha Reddy, and our volunteers will felicitate her. Just give a token of love and affection for the wonderful time and ideas. Next. Check one. You tell them what it is.
Thank you, Swamiji. Thank you, ma'am. Now, moving forward with the cultural program, we request Swamiji and distinguished guest Usha Reddy, ma'am, to take part in the program along with the audience. Today, we are about to witness something powerful, not just a performance, but a message, not just movements, but a mindset. Karate is not merely about kicks and punches. It is about discipline over fear, control over anger, confidence in oneself. And when this art is practiced by women, it becomes a symbol of strength with grace. Now, let us welcome with a big round of applause to our fearless warriors, our confident daughters, as they take the stage to demonstrate the spirit of courage and self-defense through karate.
Of strength and self-belief. As Swami Vivekananda said, all power is within you. Today our girls proved this, their courage, discipline and confidence. Let us appreciate our brave performers with a big round of applause. When darkness rise and righteousness tremble, she awakened not as an anger alone, but as a courage, not as a destruction, but as a protection. She is Durga, the power that defeats fear, the mother who shields the universe. This Shakti doesn't belongs only to the past. She lives within every woman. Durga Devi represents inner Shakti, Anta Shakti, the inner Shakti that conquers fear and ignorance, the power that awakens within. Swami Vivekananda emphasized that true strength arises from Anta Shakti, the inner power of character, fearlessness and self-belief, without which no individual or nation can progress. Now our volunteers will present a classical dance on Durga Devi.
ॐ हैं ह्रीं श्रीं श्रीमात्रे शिवप्रियायै नमो नमः। ॐ हैं ह्रीं श्रीं श्रीमात्रे शिवप्रियायै नमो नमः।
Nam tất cả thiên nợ tổng tất tùng tất tùng tất cả thiên mỹ tất cả nợ tổng thiên tùng nam tất cả thiên nợ tổng tất tùng tất cả thiên mỹ tất cả nợ tổng thiên tùng nam tất cả thiên nợ tổng tất tùng tất cả thiên mỹ tất cả nợ tổng tất cả thiên nợ tổng tất tùng tất cả thiên शिवप्रियायै नमो नमः ॐ ह्रीं ह्रीं श्रीं श्रीमात्रे
शाम्भवी चन्द्रमौळिरबलाभरणा उमा पार्वते काली हैमवती शिवा त्रिनयनी कात्यायनी भैरवी सावित्री नवयौवना शुभकरी साम्राज्य लक्ष्मी प्रदा चित्रूपी परदेवता भगवती श्री राजराजेश्वरी
ఐగిరి నందిని నందిత మేదిని విశ్వ వినోదిని నందినుతే గిరివర వింధ్య శిరోధిని వాసిని విష్ణు విలాసిని జిష్ణునుతే భగవతి హేసితి కంఠ కుటుంబిని భూరి కుటుంబిని భూరి కృతే జయ జయ హే మహిషాసుర మర్దిని రమ్యకపర్దిని శైలసుతే
ఐగిరి నందిని నందిత మేదిని విశ్వ వినోదిని నందినుతే గిరివర వింధ్య శిరోధిని వాసిని విష్ణు విలాసిని జిష్ణునుతే భగవతి హేషితి కంఠ కుటుంబిని భూరి కుటుంబిని భూరి కృతే జయ జయ హే మహిషాసురమర్దిని రమ్యకపర్దిని శైలసుతే
సురవర వర్షిణి దుర్ధర ధర్షిణి దుర్ముఖమర్షిణి హర్షరతే త్రిభువన పోషిణి శంకరతోషిణి కిల్బిషమోషిణి ఘోషరతే ధనుజ నిరోషిణి దితుసుత రోషిణి దుర్మద శోషిణి సింధుసుతే జయ జయ హే మహిషాసురమర్దిని రమ్యకపర్దిని శైలసుతే
అయి జగదంబ మదంబ కదంబవన ప్రియవాసిని హాసరతే
शिखरि शिरोमणि तुंग हिमालय शृंग निजालय मध्यगते
मधु मधुरे मधु कैटभ गंजिनि कैटभ भंजिनि रासरते जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनि रम्यकपर्दिनि शैलसुते
సురళలన తతధేయి తథేయి కృతాభినయోదన నృత్యరతే చతక కుధక్క కుధో గడదాదిక తాళ కుతూహల గానరతే ధుధుకుట ధుక్కుట ధింధిమి తధ్వని వీర మృదంగ నినాదరతే జయ జయ హే మహిషాసుర మర్దిని రమ్యకపర్దిని శైలసుతే
जय जय जप्य जये जय शब्द परस्तुति तत्पर विश्वनुते
भण भण भुञ्जिमि विङ्कृतनूपुर सिञ्जित मोहित भूतपते नटित नटार्ध नटी नटनायक नाटित नाट्य सुगानरते जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनि रम्यकपर्दिनि शैलसुते जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनि रम्यकपर्दिनि शैलसुते जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनि रम्यकपर्दिनि शैलसुते जय भवानी 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 जय
Moon or soil, she is living consciousness. Today, Bharat Mata walks among us in many forms, with many roles, with one soul as the mother, the teacher, the doctor, the police officer, the soldier, the engineer,
Swami Vivekananda,
not many
who
forms,
saw the strength
but
of a
one
nation
soul.
in its
Bharat
women.
Mata,
He said,
is not
a nation
merely
cannot
the
rise
land will live
unless
on,
its
but the
women
living
are
embodiment of
awakened.
sacrifice,
When Shakti
culture,
takes
and
form
unity.
on earth,
Bharat
she rises
Mata
as the soul
symbolizes
of a
external
nation.
Shakti.
She is not
Bahya
just
Shakti,
worshipped, she
where
is
that
lived.
inner
She
power
is Bharat
manifests
Mata.
as service,
She nourishes
responsibility,
through rivers,
and
protects
through
through
mountains, and
a
binds
vision
millions
strongly
through
upheld
cultures
by
and
Swami
value.
Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda envisioned a strong nation built on awakened and empowered women. The volunteers now will present a classical dance on Bharat Mata song Namo Namo Bharatamvi. This performance depicts Bharat Mata as the collective strength of women serving the nation in every sphere.
नमो नमो भारताम्बे सारस्वत शरीरिणि नमोऽस्तु जगतां वन्द्ये ब्रह्मविद्या प्रकाशिनि नमो नमो भारताम्बे हिमालय किरीटिनि गङ्गाद्या सरित सर्वस्तन्यं ते विश्वपावनि नमो 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 भारताम्बे नमो नमो भारताम्बे नमो 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 भारताम्बे नमो नमो भारताम्बे
यतिलोकपदन्यास पवित्रीकृत पांसवे नमोऽस्तु जगतां धात्री मोक्षमार्गैक सेतवे नमो भारताम्बे नमो नमो
Through these dance performances, we witness the journey of Shakti. From Durga Devi, the divine form of protection, to Bharata Mata, the living soul of our nation. Swami Vivekananda taught us that when women are empowered, society and the nation rises together. That was really inspiring performance. Thank you, volunteers, for your wonderful performance. That's beautifully conveyed the spirit of eternal Shakti.
As we come to the conclusion of this inspiring youth convention, let us remember Swamiji's powerful reminder. Take up one idea, make that idea one your life.
These students who perform the dance, karate, these are the students of Balavikas Kendra. So every Sunday they come here for learning karate, learning Bhagavad Gita, slokas and moral values and yoga as well. So, yeah.
May today's reflection strengthen our resolve to serve society with character, courage, and compassion. With this, we conclude the program with a small universal closing prayer.
Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhave.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanam.